actually a great time to do this podcast, number one, because we got like in real time right now.
Yeah.
I told
It's insane.
I give you a heads up that the Russell Westbrook trade could be happening as we are about to go record this podcast, and it just happened an hour ago. He got traded to the Lakers. My initial reaction, and I'll ask you in a second, what you think about it, is that I don't think he's necessarily the best fit for them. When we look at the point guards out there that were considered going to LA, depending on trades, whatever it may be, I thought Chris Paul's a better fit based on what they need, but obviously that's not going to be a situation where they can really address at this point because Chris Paul, I mean, we don't think he's leaving Phoenix at this point. At least we don't think so. But if you're going to go down the next tier, I mean, Russell Westbrook, I mean, you'd be foolish to think that he's not going to make the team leagues better next year. You know?
I absolutely agree. I agree with everything you just said. I don't think Westbrook's the best fit. And honestly, I think you saw the reports as well as I did before that and all that was going down. They were looking at doing that same exact package that they gave up for Westbrook. They were going to do it for Buddy Hield. Yeah. And I thought that was going to put them over the top. And I thought that was a way better fit, hand in glove fit, in my opinion, than Westbrook would be, because obviously we still have a lot of offseason to go. So they can surround shooters and they can get veterans on minimum deals and stuff. But as of right now, they have no bench, they have no shooting, and shooting's the number one thing that they absolutely need. There's no floor spacing, and I agree with you. Chris Paul would have been a way better fit, and I honestly love the Buddy Hield trade scenario. But we'll see. They'll be better, and they'll be favorites as they should be. But I honestly think there's going to be a couple better fits than Westbrook will be.
So the way this played out, apparently, watching what happened, I was still in the impression Buddy Hield still went through. It did not go through. They actually had Buddy Hield on the verge of being completed about 4 or 5 hours ago, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the Westbrook thing comes up, and the pieces that were supposed to go. That's what I was telling you off the text, that I wasn't sure if Buddy Hield's going to be on this trade or that trade, because financially speaking, it didn't make any sense to have both guys, because both guys are making $20 million plus. Well, Russell's making $40 million plus a year, and we have AD's I think $40 million a year, LeBron's $40 million a year, Russ making $40 million a year. That's 120 right there. Okay, then you got Buddy Hield's, while his contract is deflating, de-escalating, it's still $20 million plus a year. There's no way in hell you can make that trade. That's why I was surprised that both guys were in the mix. But it turns out that Hield is still right now for the time being staying put in Sacramento.
Right, and it's going to be insane because we haven't seen 3 $40 million players on one team. So it's going to be. I'm actually curious to see how they make this all work with, like I said, signing shooting and signing veterans. They have no choice but to hand out a bunch of minimum deals. So, right. We'll see. We're talking about Westbrook not being the ideal fit, and he's expensive. Chris Paul, right before the finals, he's talking about opting out of his $40 million option and looking for a $100 million contract over 3 years. So, we'll see.
It sounds crazy, but he's going to get paid close to what he wants because he's still really good.
I honestly think he deserves it. I'm sure you agree with me there, right? Yeah, of course.
Absolutely. So Buddy Hield would have been a good fit, I think, but at the same time, I don't know, man. This is gonna be weird how they put this together because, again, this is the problem with when you pay guys a lot of money in a salary cap league. You got to play. This is where you have to really scouting becomes a big deal here now. You gave a KCP, you gave a Kuzma, and again, I'm with that. I'm for it. LeBron has maybe 1 or 2 years left at being, if not the top guy, certainly the top 5 player in the league. We have to assume so. AD, and by the way, for the record, as good as this trade is, and I agree with this trade going forward, to me, for the Lakers, I don't think to me, it all comes to AD. If AD's healthy, they win the title. If he's not healthy, they're not going anywhere. And regardless of Russ being there or not.
I absolutely agree with you. And AD's been the X factor for 2 years now, and we obviously have seen it. And when he's on and he's 100% healthy, which everybody can agree now is that the whole bubble scenario and the whole 4-month break was probably the best thing that happened to that whole Lakers team because Braun was 100%, AD was 100%, and that team was locked in. Right. So AD's the X factor, like you said. If he's healthy and he's dominant all year, there's nobody that's going to beat that Lakers team. But if he's in and out of the lineup constantly, like he was last year, it's going to be tough. But we'll see. Now Braun gets to be a little bit off ball, and vice versa for Westbrook. And there's another ball dominant player on the team that'll help out a lot. But we'll see, man. It's going to be fun for sure.
Here's a question: did you enjoy the NBA Finals this year? Because